Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I noticed the three previous videos that I did, the sound's not too good. I think the computer picked up the laptop microphone rather than my microphone. So I'm going to switch that and summarize all three videos up, all three trades in one video, just so you can actually hear a little bit better what's going on. You can still hear it in the other ones, but it sounds kind of crappy. So I wanted to fix that after I realized what it was. So again, a little bit about myself. My name is Brian. I've been trading for about 7 years. I started out just trying to make a couple $100 a day. Buy a stock at support and then sell. Whatever, dollar later, who knows. And then I started thinking, well, if I can make 200 a day going up, if I can figure out when it goes down, I can make 400 because they usually all go up and down. So that's how I got into shorting. And when I got into shorting, a lot of things changed. I learned a lot of different things about trading. It's a whole different type of game. So I would notice the penny stocks, boom, huge, 200-300% up, and then down drastically. And I couldn't get those shares, so I had to trade up and save up enough money to get an account with Centerpoint. So then I did. And I shorted them for a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's you got to pay to get those shares. There's so much risk involved in it. When I started doing the math, I was like, I don't need to take this much risk. I can just learn how to trade the big stocks with the market, that move with the market, try to predict what the market's going to do, map it out really good, and then succeed that way rather than trying the penny stock thing and waking up one day you're short 20,000 shares and the stock popped $10. You're screwed. So yeah, I did it for a little while. I mean, I had some success, but really not my thing anymore. I still will do that once in a while, but certain situations. So anyway, after doing that, then I started trading bigger stocks, ones that move with the market, and really started to put together how does the S&P 500 move, why does it move, how does news affect it. I don't worry too much about the news either, honestly. Mainly just chart patterns on the daily, the monthly, and the weekly, and then I position in, with the intraday charts on the 1 minute and sell on the 10 minutes. Just some stuff I learned over the years. But yeah, so then after that, I started getting into options, and I like the options because you can spend a little bit of money and make a lot of money if you're right on the move. But the problem with that is, right now anyway, the VIX is trading so low, there's hardly any volatility. So you need volatility. You need the stock to move in order to make any money on options, and you need it to move within a certain time frame. You're buying the weeklies, you need it that week, if not quicker, usually in a day or two. Monthlies, it's just not worth it to me to buy something going out a month. There are certain situations like I did with DocU in the past, but not really. So I went back to equity, trading equity recently because the money I was making trading options is not really there anymore. You're not getting the 3, 4, 500%ers like in the beginning of the year, January, February. You were getting them all the time. Now it's pretty rare to get like 100 or 200%. They're still out there, but the percentages kind of work against you. So I went back to equity trading the stocks. But I'll still do some options trades, and when the environment's right, I'll be posting some of them too. And I'm going to do a small account, even with the VIX trade and where it is now, like $500, $1,000 account, and see where I can get it in a month or something like that. I'll figure something out. So anyway, yeah, that's a little bit about me. Been trading about 7 years. I'm also I was in the Marines for 4 years. Fought in Afghanistan, Marine Special Operations Command. Got out and now actually went to school and became a nurse practitioner, and that's what I do right now. So I trade, while I'm working, and still, set my stops and set my targets and all that. And if I'm not busy, I got a couple hours off, I'll go right into a trade. So that's mainly what I do, and I want to get away from the whole nurse practitioner thing and just focus on trading full time because it's on me. I don't have to deal with anybody, and I love doing it. So anyway, going into the trades, first trade was IHT. Now, this was the first trade that I kind of recorded the prices where I bought and all that because I knew I was going to make a YouTube channel. I wanted to help some younger traders. So that's why I got those there. You know, I don't know how to get these, how many shares you bought off of here and just say the price. It doesn't matter how many shares you're buying. You know, what matters is percentages to you. And when you get your account bigger, you know, then you can catch smaller moves, and there's different things we can do. I do some videos on that too, what I learned on that over the years. So yeah, I don't mean to, you know, show anybody buying 10,000 shares or this or that. I don't want anybody to feel, you know, like I'm trying to show off the profits and losses, yada yada yada. Because money is, you know, a lot of money is an opinion to everyone, really, right? And some people think this amount of money is a lot. Some people, you know, it's not a lot to them. But sorry about the size on there. I just don't know how to get the size off of there. But I really don't care. You know, if you take 100 shares, somebody with a $500 or somebody with enough money to buy 100 shares, they'll profit the same percentage that I would with taking thousands of shares. And over time, it's that consistency and the knowledge that will get your account up to, then you're buying thousands of shares and then tens and thousands of shares. And then you can catch smaller movements, and things are a lot easier because you don't need that huge movement on the equity side. And then also there's some other things you can do with your account when you got it up there pretty good. But we'll get into all that. So anyway, first trade was IHT. So IHT, I came to the market, this was Friday. And I like to trade options on Fridays, the weeklies. And I'm trying to catch big drops. But I think I saw all during the day. I didn't see anything that I really liked, or I broke even, whatever. And then I stopped trading for a while. I don't like to trade during lunch. I'll stay in trades, you know, if it's a swing or whatever, but I don't like to take positions or anything during lunch. So 2 o'clock comes around, I go back to the computer right here, 150, and you can see what I did was I looked on FinViz, and I saw IHT was at the top of the list. So it was a high percentage gainer. And then I noticed it dropped. So if I was short, I would want to get in right here. And then I would short this little bounce right here and think I'm good here. But this third bounce here to come in right around at 2 o'clock it doesn't usually happen a lot. And if it does, there's a possibility that the shorts who have been short from right here, they're going to get squeezed. Because if they shorted around this area, and I'm talking where the crosshairs are, because I noticed the mouse shows up differently when I finish the recording. So let's say you shorted from anywhere from this area to this area, right? Once it pops back above this area here, you're underwater. So you have to cover. So that's going to cause the price to rise really quickly. Why is it going to rise really quickly? So 2 reasons. You've got a lot of shorts in there, and the shorts that you have in there, they're stuck, they're underwater. And actually another reason, 3, it's a low float stock, which is the main reason why I got into this. I'm not sure if I got into it, but low float stock, you know, there's just not a lot of shares of that company to trade. So due to that, and most of it being held by insiders or whatever the case may be, I always look at that before I get into a trade. That will cause the price to increase and decrease pretty significantly. So this stock only had 2 million shares, and this day here it did 66 million in volume. So it rotated like crazy, and you know, they thought it was over here. But I've been in this situation before where I've been short and I've been up money and I stayed in, and then at the end of the day you can see what happened. So I was wrong about it popping into the close, because it didn't. Popped a little bit, and then right around 2:50 or 3 o'clock, it dropped all the way into the close. Closed really weak. Usually I would get out. So here's a good learning point on the video. Usually I would get out on something like that, but this wasn't a trade where I had a stop loss, and it wasn't a trade where I was thinking we were going to get momentum after, you know, closing on Friday, just because, you know, a lot of people are on it. I got into it because I thought it was a short squeeze, and I still thought it could short squeeze because, like I said, before I get into a trade, I'll look at different time frames of the chart. And look at this here, right? So you have, I don't know when I bought those shares. Okay. Anyway, I guess this was a trade I took a while ago. It's weird. So here, this is going to be the resistance, right? This is weekly candles, so each one's a week. Now, this candle closed at 348. So we already broke this red one. So all we needed was to close above 348 on the weekly chart with volume to confirm the breakout. So where did we close this week? This was the Friday. Closed right at 350. So it's 2 cents higher, but it's higher, and it's a lot higher volume. And the volume is what made me comfortable to stay in the trade. So we go back to the 10-day, 10-minute chart. I like to use those to get to stay in the trades longer, and just the overall look of them. I don't like the 5s and the 15s because I think a lot of traders use those, and I would rather be in the middle and get a better picture. So, all right, I didn't get out here. I was down. I was red pretty good, but then after hours it pretty much held up. I wanted it to hold around 350, close to it, because you're going to get a pretty nice swing. So even if it's 325 here in the after hours, Monday this thing can pop right back over 350, and then some volume will pour in without a doubt, because now we're trending up week after week, and that's a confirmed breakout, and we're going to get a bigger move, especially in a low float stock. So yeah, Monday pre-market it popped, and then as soon as the market opened, it dropped all the way down to 281. Now I was thinking, all right, I'm going to average down here, and then worst comes to worst, this thing completely dies out. I'll get another pop and get out for less money, less of a loss. But I noticed this. If you take a look, main reason, look at all this volume. The volume are these bars down here, right? So over here was 66 million. Then we open up on Monday, nothing, hardly anything. I mean, there's volume there, but not like that previous day, steady. So you still got a lot of people over here in this trade, and when this thing rips, they're going to want to get out. And that's one of the reasons why I sold right at the end of the day too. So anyway, you can see when we confirmed over the $3.50 price, it didn't break out here. And why is that? Because look at the bottom, no volume. So then I was like, all right, now if I was short here, I would get out here. But maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Most likely not, which is why we got this huge rip. So then right at about 3 o'clock, which is when most stocks will start ripping, power hour 3 to 4, sometimes 2:30. But look, we broke over 350 with volume, and we go from 350 to 678 in an hour. I would have loved to have a better average and have bought more, but this volume came in so quick. If I would have saw it building up slowly and the volume a little bit better, I would have bought more. But I thought maybe we were going to dip again. Sometimes things will go a few days. But anyway, I got that rip here into the last hour of the day. Now, when you're going to sell your position in the low float stock, you want to sell, or any position, you want to sell as it's going up, sell into the strength. Because if you wait on a low float stock to sell, you're going to get a pretty drastic drop when it does drop, especially at this time of the day, the last hour of the day, because people who made money on this going up, once this red candle comes in and they start losing money, they're going to sell, which is why you got this, and then more volatility, people holding on longs, wanting to get in for the continuation. But if they're trading a while, I don't want to stay into that. I made the money. I want to get out and be done with it. And if I want to get back in, I can get back in the next day. I don't have to risk losing all this money overnight that, I'm up now. So I got out. Now, I didn't pay attention to this for the rest of the week, honestly. And the reason was because, like I said, I'm a nurse practitioner. I had patients that I had to take care of on this day and this day and this day. So I'm working. But I did notice after hours, the next trade that I got into, which was AMC. And the reason why I got into this trade, I'll tell you, is, where are we at? So as soon as I got out of that IHT trade, which this is the day that IHT popped into the close on Monday, I got out here, right? I noticed about an hour later on Twitter, someone said something about AMC breaking above 10 in the after hours, and I thought that was significant because $10 is a round number. Institutions like it, and just $10 is significant. Not only that, like I said, I always go to the multiple time frames. So if you go to a weekly chart on AMC and look at this time that I was talking about, this is the week that it broke out. So you can see this trend line right here and here, right? Basically like a big pennant, like a flag. When a stock is going in between that price area, then it's coiling down, and getting tighter and tighter and tighter, as you see it does here on the weekly. When it pops up through that, it's going to be pretty significant. You get nice moves. So we saw that with Solo a couple of months ago too. But anyway, yeah. So I looked at a different time frame. Now we'll go back to the intraday, 10-day, 10-minute. So when I heard that and saw that, I wanted to see, all right, is there any volume? Because we need volume for everything. So I looked. All right, here's I got out of the trade IHT, and then this happened in the after hours. So look, any volume here on this price increase? Yeah, 140,000, 68,000. Then we have 80, 39. Well, actually, that was. Yeah, that was the right day. Okay. No, that wasn't the right day. I was thinking that wasn't the right day. This was the day here. So sorry, this was the Friday. I got out of the IHT trade, and here. Then I looked for the volume because I knew it was in the millions, and that's why I got in. So yeah, we had 268,000, right? And then we had 951,000. And then another 600,000. So that's significant volume. Something's up. Somebody knows something, most likely, I'm thinking. So I'm going to get in. People are chasing. But I'm not going to get in right then and there because I'm not going to get in, even though that's good volume, it's light. It's a huge price increase on that amount of volume that you would usually get in the regular hours, right? So there's no news came out, so I'm not going to get in here. You're going to get a horrible average. You can imagine if I got a 1081 average instead of a 1021 and do the math, wouldn't have been worth it really, and I wouldn't have probably held on. So anyway, for this one, pretty much this trade, stop loss that I had was 50 cents, and I just wanted to make $1 because I knew I was working these days. So swing trade. Or if I got it the next day, I got it that day, I got it that day, whatever. But I was risking down to like 970, and my target was 1121 because my entry was 1021. 5,000 shares, whatever. Just try to make some money real quick, and I was pretty confident that I could do it because of this range and the breakout. So this day didn't get anything, but it still held up, right? Still held at $10. Didn't hit the stop loss. The next day we get a nice pop, 1050, 1060. Close at about like 10:30. Still held the $10, so whatever. I'm still going to swing it. Then here's when the news came out here. So offering 45 million shares for $10, so they raised $450 million. The fact that the price that they raised it was $10 a share is great because then you can risk off of that. Now I'm risking, what I said, like 970. So I was pretty confident that wasn't going to hit, and I could just leave it alone. And I'm leaving my sell order in there, and when it fills, I got the money, I'm done. So when the market opened up, I got that sale pretty much right away, I guess, within, the first 20 minutes. Sold those 5,000 shares you can see here at 11.21. And, I was working, so I'm like, all right, I'm still going to watch this, and if it's got a lot of momentum, the volume keeps on increasing, stays pretty steady, I'm going to get back in on a dip, and then try to ride it into the afternoon, into the close. And just depending on how it behaved, whether I kept it overnight or not, it depends on what happens. So I'll tell you why I didn't in a second. So I got in here, like 3,600 shares, 1197. And then, look, anytime a stock starts moving up like this pretty drastically and increasing volume at 1 o'clock, and you get that all the way up until 2 o'clock, like 1 hour, you get, what do we got, like $1.50 move, $2 move. It's not going to get much better unless it's an extremely low float stock. The whole entire day trading communities are on it. This is AMC though. You got to listen, know the float, and look. It was a $10 stock right at the beginning of the day. So now we got what 14. So 40%, you just do the math. There's not many stocks that go up like that and continue to go up like that into the close. So you want to sell into the strength here, because once this first red candle comes in, as you can see, when people start losing money and they see that, you know, the trend is changing, they get out because they don't want to lose money. And then the shorts start to get in and they'll hammer it down even more. So you want to sell up into the strength. So I sold 2,600 shares here at 13.48, and then I sold another 1,000 at 13.56. Where's that at? Yeah, I see. I could have done better, you know, almost another 70 cents, but whatever. I don't, you know, sit back and think about money I could have made. It's a waste of time. So that was that trade. Then I got out. So that it was done with AMC. It continued to move the next day, but it still is moving. You know, I'll get back in when I look at the levels and all that. But if I see something I like, I'm moving on. So anyway, the last trade here is GameStop. So this was on 5/13. This was a scalp. So I have, for scalps, I have a range that I know that stock is going to trade in between, or I think anyway, and that's what I want to catch. And I want to make sure that that's a guarantee. Like, you know, if it's possible to move 10 points, I'm not trying to get the whole 10 points, I'm trying to get 6 with a lot more shares in, out. So this GME scalp, you can see, boom, consolidation, consolidation, drop, drop, consolidation. All right, now we're going back up. So look, this is where I bought in, right? Where are we going to go back to? We're going to go back to right about here, which is where we came from on the consolidation. It's almost guaranteed it's going to test that level before it goes back down. And that's what I was thinking, so that's why I got in. Plus all the short squeeze stocks were moving, so you know, this was right along there with it, the main short squeeze stock of them all. So 150 shares, right? Let's just call it at $153, and then I sold those 150 shares at about $163. So like $1,500, whatever, just a scalp. And that order, set it and forget it. Stop loss, it's nothing. I mean, you know, the short interest on this and the volume and looking at Twitter and Reddit and all that stuff, you can tell when traders are on this. So it's a pretty easy scalp. So yeah, that's pretty much, you know, that's the 3 trades. I'm going to do some more videos when I get into the options, maybe do a small account challenge and, you know, see what else I can come up with. But if you guys got any requests on videos or any questions or anything that you want to see me do, or maybe some live trades to take or different types of trades, whatever, let me know. I'm cool with that because I need some ideas anyway. And I'll be more than happy to help you out. If you got any questions, just write them in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.